Hey guys, it's Christina, and I'm so excited because I am here with Candace Cameron Bure. How are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Good, and congratulations. Brand new book out today,
Thank
Candace
you.
Center Stage. Congrats. I love it. It's adorable.
I do too.
Yes.
I'm glad
I
you
would
love
hope that
it.
you love it.
I really do. I'm so proud of this one. I'm proud of everything that I do, but
Right.
this is literally a dream for 20 years.
Really?
Since I had my first baby,
Okay.
who's now 20 years old.
Sure.
I've wanted to write a children's book because it's always been my favorite thing to do with my kids is when they were young. I don't really do it so much with them now.
Right.
To
They're
sit
like,
and
Mom.
read to them. Like, that's weird, Mom.
That's weird, Mom.
But it has been a dream in the making for a long, long time, so I'm so proud of it.
I know that you've written, this is your 6th book?
Yes.
So why has it taken so long for you to write a children's book? Were you just waiting
Isn't
for
it
that right
funny?
story? Because I know this is something that you've dreamed of for a while.
I've had the stories in my head for a while.
Okay.
But I think, you know, there's always a progression to things. It's always timing,
Sure.
and it's not always in your own time of what you think is best, but what the other people and the people who do what they do well know is best. And so when I became an author with my first book, I don't even know how many years ago it was at this point, but probably 7 or 8 years ago when I released my first book. You know, people start to then know you like as an author because I've only been an actress for most people for a very long time. And then when I started to really branch out and pursue other avenues, book writing was more about, you know, storytelling in my own words and encouraging the women around me that are probably more in my age group. But I think now that it is my 6th book, people do know me as an author, and then the timing was like, okay, let's dive into the children's space. And also with Fuller House, that's successful now, like kids know me as an adult and not just from the reruns. So it's all like this weird timing thing.
It was perfect timing.
Yes, but it took a while to get there for the children's book, but I'm happy I waited patiently because I think it was well worth the wait.
Of course, yes. Diane says that you're so beautiful.
Thanks, Diane.
And just to remind everybody to please send in your questions and your comments. So tell us all what this book is about.
Well, this is the first of many, many little Candace adventures.
Nice.
And Candace has a really big personality. And this first one, she goes to dance class for the first time, and she thinks she's like the best dancer and doesn't really need lessons, but she soon finds out that she's actually not the best ballerina in the group. But her mom continues to encourage her to work hard and follow through, which she does, but there's a little bumps along the way. And so there's always a little lesson learned in the book, and it really encourages kids to have confidence and keep trying, don't be afraid to fail, and at the end of the day, it's okay to be yourself. And so that's what it's really all about. And here, I have to tell you, is aside from Candace, my favorite little guy in this book is Harry, her pet hamster. And he's hiding in her hair right there, but he's on every single page in the book. And so sometimes it's really hard to find Harry. But that's what, so have your kids find Harry in the pages. They're really, it's really cute.
So were you basing these stories on yourself growing up, on your kids? How did you kind of get inspiration?
They're a little bit more based on my own kids as kids. So Candace in this book doesn't exactly have my personality of what I was like when I was a kid, but I see it more from a mom's perspective today. So this Candace actually has a lot of my own daughter Natasha's personality.
Yeah, that's great. What did Natasha think of it?
Oh, she loves it, but Natasha's like my best cheerleader. So anything I do, she's always like, "Oh, it's awesome, Mom. It's so great, and I'm proud of you." Like, I love her for it. But
That's so great.
Yeah, so she had nothing but great things to say.
Yeah, and so you said that this is potentially going to be a series.
It is.
Yeah.
Hint, hint, I've already written the next one.
Have you?
Yes.
Nice, that's great.
So, but I hope you guys, I hope you all love it, because I'd love to make tons of them. But yeah, there's already, the second one's already, I've already written.
I love that. That's so great. That's so great. Suzanne says, oh my God, I love her hair.
Thank you. I didn't do it myself. Dora did it, and she styled it fabulously. Everyone always asks me how I do my hair, and I'm like, listen, if it's straight, I probably did it, because I can blow dry my hair. If it's curled and like looks amazing, I did not do
that
it.
That is fabulous. I love that. So true with me too. I cannot do anything with my hair.
It's hard to get in the back of it like this and like take an iron and a wand. I can do it, but it's not great.
Not great. Speaking of your kids, they're all grown now, and I know that you said earlier today when you were on the Today Show that empty nest syndrome is starting to creep up on you a little bit. Is that kind of very overwhelming?
Well, it's not overwhelming, it's just sad. It's like sad to think that my kids aren't going to be in my house every day, and I'm only a year or two away from it. And I have such a great relationship with our kids, and my husband does too. I mean, we're just a really close family, and we do everything together. So I already have one that's gone this year, and you know, Natasha still lives at home, which I do love, but my youngest won't be there very long, and so it's a sad thought. But with all that said, I absolutely love the teenage years, and I'm excited for them, because I love seeing who they've grown into and who they are going to be and what kind of mark they're going to make on the world, and so I'm looking forward to them exploring their own lives.
Yeah, I mean, looking back, like when they were younger, did they kind of turn into exactly who you thought they would be, or somebody completely different?
Well, I mean, you have a sense of personalities with your kids when they're younger, and they are exactly who they were as little kids. So you're like, that doesn't surprise me that this is what they like, or this is what they do, or they like flourished in this area, but maybe not in this area. So, nothing's really surprised me with them, but they're all very, very different kids. And I love them each so much, and exactly for who they are.
What's been the most challenging part of parenting teens?
Not getting emotionally invested in their emotional state at the moment, because when you're a teenager, it's serious drama. Like even the little things are like so dramatic. So it's hard because you always want to help. And then sometimes you get too wrapped up and you're like, I got to take a step back because I'm the adult and I need to have the real life perspective on this to help them. But sometimes you just like want your kids to be happy, so you just got to have emotional perspective with them.
Definitely. Are you and your husband kind of looking forward to, in a way, about the empty nest, that you guys can kind of do date nights whenever you want and things like that? Well, or do you guys do that
We do that anyway, and I mean, in that sense, it's pretty great because, I mean, I can't say, like, our kids do everything with us, and at the same time my husband and I do so much without them, so we already have a good balance, and but it will give us even more freedom. I think Boris, my dog, actually is the one that, like, he makes us stay home. He makes us not go on vacation because Boris needs the attention, not really my kids.
So funny.
Just like, honey, let's go to Italy. Oh, who's going to watch Boris?
That's so funny. Did your kids ever want to follow in your footsteps and kind of do what you do?
Well, my daughter always has. Natasha has, and she is, but in a different area. She's really focusing on singing and but she's on social media and has a YouTube channel and does some modeling, and she auditions for acting and does a little bit here and there. But my boys want nothing to do with this business. They are hockey players through and through, and going to school. And exactly.
Yeah, definitely. What kind of advice do you give her?
Natasha? Well, for all young people, I give the same advice that I give my daughter, is that you really have to know who you are before you step out into the world with your career, whatever you want to do, your personal life. You have to be grounded, whatever that is for you. For us, I mean, our faith is incredibly important, our Christian faith, but I'm like, baby, you got to know who you are, because when the going gets rough, people will try to tell you who you should be, and they will try to decide for you, and they will sway you with things, they will tempt you with things that may not look like the big, bad, scary wolf. It'll look attractive, but then it could just lead into bad decisions or into an area that you are shocked that maybe you could get into. So I'm like, you gotta have a foundation, and if you're ever in question, Mama's always here.
Sure.
And I'm always here for you to help navigate it through, and I'll always be there no matter how old you are, even if you're, 60 and I'm 80. Like, I'm still there for you.
I think that's so important because, you started out so young and you're able to kind of go through all of that and go through that with ease, and not a lot of people can do that. So I think that's pretty important that you stayed grounded and were able to do that. I think that's great.
Thank you.
I think that's great. Nikki is asking where your outfit is from.
Oh goodness, should we look at a tag? I didn't get it at the store, but I could tell, you could tell the little, it's a good label.
Keepsake.
Keepsake. And
Very cute.
It's affordable. Yeah,
it's adorable.
Keepsake.
So you guys have been married for so many years. What is the secret to your marriage?
We just, okay, I'm tired.
Yeah.
It's the end of the day, and these are when the corny jokes come out. I was going to say we're apart a lot because I travel a lot. That's the secret.
That's the secret.
Because, being away from each other makes the heart grow fonder.
It does. That is very true.
But that's not totally my answer. Marriage is a wonderful, beautiful thing, but there's always going to be tough times. I mean, there's no one that has this amazingly perfect marriage, but you hang in there and you stick with it, and you try to, you really try to, I always say, put your spouse on a pedestal, and in return, you're hoping, which my husband does, we have the same respect for one another, that he's putting me on that pedestal, I'm putting him on the pedestal, and some days neither of us deserve it, but we do it because we honor one another and respect each other, and then you hang in there. You're always going to come back on the upswing if you're at a low spot.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
Another thing that I love about you is that you are so open and honest on social media, which I think is so great, and you're not afraid to kind of call people out, which I think is great as well. And why do you think that is important? Because I know a few months back some people called you out for your outfit or your weight or something like that, which is ridiculous. Why is it so important for you to kind of call people out on things like that?
Well, I do call people out, but it's always in kindness, if I can, because I never want to be rude back. I think fueling a fire in that way or feeding into negativity is never a good thing. But I just like to remind people that just because you're on social media, whether you're a celebrity or not, and yes, we're all putting things out there, but you still have to be respectful to people. I just don't understand when they think that, well, you put it out there, so my opinion can be heard no matter, even if it's really rude and ugly. And I'm like, no, it can't. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. And so I will kind of clap back at people, reminding them, like, hey, I'm a human being too, and I didn't ask for your opinion. I'm sharing my life with you, but like, let's keep it nice. Let's keep it classy.
No, that's so true. And they never think that you're going to do it. And then when you do, they're like,
oh,
but
don't
you
mess
do.
With Mama, I tell you.
And you are also open about your love of menstrual cups, which I think is hysterical. I love that.
I could talk about menstrual cups and like all those feminine things that a lot of people don't want to talk about all day long. I love it.
That's hysterical. But it's good. It is good to be honest and open with people. Even Lisa says that you're so inspirational.
Oh, thank you, Lisa. I have to tell you, speaking of the menstrual cup blog that went on all day long, but I had some of the sweetest comments from girls that private messaged me. I read a lot of them. I don't read all of them, but a lot, and I'll answer back to a few. But I had some young girls that commented back and said, thank you for telling me this and teaching me this, because I don't have a mom, or I don't have a mother figure, or I'm too embarrassed, or I've never been taught this. My mom's not open to talking to me about these things, and thank you for making me feel comfortable and to try. And those are like, I just got chills, because I'm like, that's the honest truth of why I put it out there, because I'm like, if this could help somebody in whatever way, and even if it's just about periods and a 15-year-old girl that isn't comfortable, I'm like, that's why it's there, and it makes me feel really good about it.
It sparks a conversation too, because like you said, a lot of people don't talk about it. A lot of people feel uncomfortable, so at least you're out there doing that. I love that. Marlena is asking, Fuller House, when is Fuller House coming back? A lot of people are asking.
Yes, I know. You guys all message me like every day.
Every day.
When's season 4 coming out? I don't have an exact date, but it will be at the end of this year.
Okay,
you will get it before 2019, I promise.
I promise. And what can we see kind of going forward? Because I think you're directing a little bit coming up, right?
I did. I directed my first first episode this
Nice.
season and absolutely loved it, and I will definitely be directing more in season 5. Those are some really fun episodes.
Sure.
We have a few guest stars, and then like as far as DJ and Steve are, I mean,
Back
they're
together.
That's it's kind of it. So
Yeah.
we'll see how the fans respond to
That's,
that.
I'm sure that they'll love it. Did you ever think that it would kind of pick up exactly where it left off? Because it's like better in ratings than like Sunday Night Football and things like that.
I know,
it's crazy.
it is pretty crazy, but we've always known that we have the
Such a loyal
best,
fan base,
the best fans, and so loyal. And Full House meant something to
Yeah,
people
of
back in the
course,
day,
yeah.
so that's why they're watching now. But I think our show is really funny
Yeah.
and current, and it's the kind of entertainment that you just are going to veg out on and like not think twice and just be. But you know, I have an app that Jody and Andrea, Jody Sweden and Andrea Barber and I, we're all on, and we're like, it's like a group message,
Yeah.
and so we talk to each other on it almost every day. But just right before this, like Jody was messaging the two of us, I miss you guys so much, and I was messaging them like, I miss you too. It's only been 4 weeks we haven't been together, but we are seriously the She-Wolf pack.
That's amazing. And who would have thought, like all these years ago, you guys would still be just as close, if not closer.
I know.
Yeah,
It's
that's
pretty great.
fantastic. Janine is saying that you're her favorite actor, and she has seen all your
Oh,
movies.
thank you, Janine. Thanks.
We did have some people asking about The View. Do you still keep up with it? Every now and
I
then?
watch it occasionally,
Yeah.
kind of. I haven't in a little while, and not just because of the show, but the honest truth is I'm so tired of politics right now that like I think we all are, but
just
I
turn it off.
just want a break. I just don't even want to listen to it. So, you know, I read the news and I know the headlines and get more into detail on some of the stories that are more important or standouts, but I'm just not into watching a lot of politics, and it just feels way too negative
I think
right
that's
now.
how a lot of people feel. Do you miss unscripted, or do you prefer scripted, unscripted TV? Would you ever go back to it?
I love both. The answer to that is absolutely 100%. I would go back to it, and I love doing a talk show, so that's not ruled out by any means. To do that again, but you know. I love scripted, I love writing, I love directing, I love producing. I basically am a workhorse, and I love doing it all.
When do you sleep?
Not enough.
Not enough. Well, Candace, thank you so much.
You're
Congratulations
welcome.
on the book. Candace
Thank
Center
you.
Stage is out today.
Yes,
So, yes,
go pick it up. Go buy it for your littles. And if you don't have littles, I'm sure you have a neighbor or someone. And you know, I've said this, but I went and actually I bought a bunch myself,
Did
and
you?
I'm donating them to children's hospitals and ICUs all around the country in North America. And so
That's great.
that's just a cool thing that maybe, you know, you could donate a book in someone's name
I
to a
love that.
children's hospital.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
Did you give one to John's little one?
Not yet,
Not
but
yet.
you know I will.
You know
I
you
think
will.
I'm going to have another little boy. Maybe it'll be like Billy.
Yes.
Candace and Billy Center Stage.
I love that. Candace, thank you so much.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Thanks, everybody.